Man, I can't wait till this year's over so I can stop giving a shit who wins these damn things.
A smarter man would have realized years ago that it doesn't matter.
I meant races in general.
Oh,
Yeah. Also, I get it. If you're mad about Kevin losing, if I'm mad about Kevin losing Talladega on like the middle of the backstretch, like I was mad about 2020, and that being a little ridiculous. But the man was a foot away.
they finished last.
With 5 races to go in his career. No, we'll talk about that too. He was a foot away with 5 races to go in his entire fucking career. Fuck you, Seth. That gave me shit because I was upset that Harvick lost the race.
Dude, I hadn't even seen it.
And I quote, "You broke your phone over a Talladega race."
Yeah. I also, yes, my phone is broken, but it was not because of that. I actually broke it bit before that because I jumped up and somehow sent it.
So look, it was literally just a comedy of Kevin Harvick lost by 6 feet or the whole field. And then the next thing I see is Buddy sending Snapchat messages from his computer. I'm like, what the fuck? Oh, I see what happened here.
Yeah, no, it's not what happened. What a terrible day.
Yeah, it wasn't fun.
It just, dude, Talladega, it always does it, dude. Talladega is the biggest blue ball damn racetrack. I mean, you think
it is definitely the biggest.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, you think something good maybe will happen there one day. I was thinking about that today. Nothing good has happened at Talladega for definitely not you, Seth. But
since 2007, no.
Time. Yeah. I think the last time I was happy about a Talladega win was when Bubba won in 21.
Okay, so that wasn't that long ago.
Well, I kind of discount that because that was like, not because it was rain shortened and rain races don't count. They absolutely do count. No, because I was pulling. Okay, so no, it hasn't been that long. But other than that, this is pointless. Anyway, what's up? I'm Buddy Pulley, and I'm sad.
And I'm Seth Dolby, and I'm broken.
And I'm Chase Folsom, and I'm tired.
Okay, wow. And yeah, we have the other 4 dwarves somewhere else.
Is Chase back, or are we still stuck with concussion Chuck?
Oh yeah, I forgot about we gave old backstretch.com's Chuck Folsom a week off last week. How's Chase Folsom?
He's better. Migraines galore still.
Okay.
I'm not, as my brain just went dead, I'm not making as many speaking errors as I was last time. So there's a plus. It's better. It's better, but it's still there.
I have a migraine right now, but that's Ryan Blaney induced.
You two were friends in February. Let's put it this way.
I know. Yeah, we had a great conversation. We got a trip to New Orleans planned. Sounds like he's paying for it since he won this race.
Probably.
Yeah.
I would hope he would anyway, since he's rich.
Yeah. Anyway, how was you guys' Talladega?
Radio Talladega. Broadcast is exciting.
Yeah. It was. I mean, I will say it was a solid race.
Were they really 4 wide at one point?
Yeah. Yes, for like a lap.
Yeah,
a whole lap.
Well, yeah,
incredible. It was more than that. But I mean, yeah. Can we put? I think we can put to bed this car. You can't make a third lane narrative because it was all day.
You just can't do it at Daytona because they find a way to wreck.
You can do it way easier at Daytona. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, except they always junk the field when they do it at Daytona, and they don't at Talladega.
Yeah, that's because Talladega is like 18 lanes wide.
I'm just saying that's where the narrative comes from, is because they say you can't make a third lane because when you do, they junk everybody.
That's not what the narrative comes from. Either way,
the rain junked everybody.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, so they were able to go 3 wide, which was interesting. Denny made a comment about it after the race. Our buddy Peter Strada, asked him a great question, and then Noah Lewis followed it up. I can't remember which one asked the question that prompted this, but talking about Denny basically said they just know more about this car and have learned how to, manipulate the air to be able to form that third lane. So that's cool.
Is it not also that when we got this car, it had significantly more drag on it than we have ever had or recently? And I don't know, engineering kind of worked on it.
Well, yeah.
Like that too. Byron hinted at the fact that there's been changes made to the car.
Oh, there were changes made to William Byron's car. Let's fucking point that out real quick. I was the first one to call that shit too. Why was his paint scheme randomly different this week?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Let me talk about the uproar that was 2018 and 2019. I guess it was just 2018 when everyone had random paint scheme changes with black accents on the cars. And, that was put to bed. And now all of a sudden William Byron comes to Talladega when it doesn't matter for him. But, why not try something with a black nose? So,
I'm going to be totally honest.
I'd like for the car to go back to R&D and not just the engine. So that pissed me off because I spent a whole damn year as a Harvick fan getting lambasted because they were like, why are they changing the paint scheme? Well, why is Chase Elliott changing the paint scheme? Why is AJ Allmendinger changing the paints? And they're all damn doing it. You can't be selective when you deal with this shit.
So I'm going to be totally honest until you just said that. See, when that happened a couple years ago, I was not in the loop of any of the tech stuff. I just watched the races. Yeah. I had no clue that that's what that was about until you told me just now. So
yes,
learned something new today. Thanks.
You didn't think it was a little weird that Jimmy Johnson showed up with a throwback black car with white fucking A posts?
I haven't.
I did. I thought it was all weird that they changed their paint schemes randomly. I just didn't know why. So
here's what I think about Byron. Here's what I think about Byron this week, though. I think they didn't do anything. I think they just wanted NASCAR to be like, "What the fuck are they doing?"
I have an Alex Bowman
That'd be funny
diecast over here. It says 2021 throwback to Greg Ives' late model. Let me tell you, Greg Ives' late model did not have a pink A post. Let's make that very clear.
I think
this is absolutely something, and we're never going to find out about it. But we're too worried about other cars. So we'll talk about that. But getting into midweek stuff, Andretti is cooking.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah, that's not what I had on my bingo card. That's for sure. Spire buying them.
I could tell Kyle was a little disenchanted with KBM because it seems like the past few years, it hasn't been really who Kyle wants in the car. It seems like it's been whoever the manufacturer wants in the car, which makes sense because they were the flagship Toyota team. They're now the flagship Chevy team in the truck series. And he's got Jack Wood in the truck. NASCAR superstar himself, Jack Wood, who wrecks every week. Chase Purdy hasn't really done much for himself. Nick Sanchez, holy shit. Nick Sanchez seems decent enough, but that's not even a full KBM effort. So I can see now that it's happened, I can understand why, I guess.
Yeah, I feel like it's kind of just Kyle doesn't have the time probably anymore to keep the team at what he wants it to be because Brexton races just as much as Kyle does. So whatever Spire paid him, I don't know how much it is. I'm sure that money is going right back into whatever Brexton wants to do for the next 10 years. And I wouldn't be surprised if when the time comes, he opens another KBM, even if it's just a single team just for Brexton to run it, just so he can say he owns his son's truck.
Like Kevin Harvick did with KHI right now.
Yeah, exactly like that.
Also, Also, we've known with Kyle that, especially with the contract negotiations last year, the employees at KBM are really important to him. So if he found an avenue to make sure that they all got taken care of, on top of all that, then that's
absolutely
then he's going to jump on that, and that's what he did. So
only difference between KHI and KBM is I don't think Kevin ran the team into bankruptcy in their first year. Anyway, that goes back to Kevin Harvick gave him all when they had the spat at Darlington, Kevin gave him all the budgets for KBM and he still ran it into bankruptcy. So I sure remember Kevin saying that. But no, it's I mean, how much does an F1 team cost? How much was Andretti gonna pay? Do we remember?
I don't know.
Because he's got that much money to play with, I guess. And allocated funds. So
I think they got more than that. For Group 1001 is absolutely loaded.
Yeah.
So
I didn't know that Gamebridge was an Andretti company. I thought they were just like a sponsor.
Well, Gamebridge and Group 1001 are connected. I think it's all connected, to be completely honest.
I mean, that whole Burger King Domino's connection. That's not true at all, but
no,
I felt like saying.
But they're not really competing markets either.
No, they're not. So Domino's rolled out that cheeseburger pizza.
Yeah. Hey, it was actually good. It was actually good. Don't even.
I know. I worked there.
Make them.
I know. I just wonder who's going to drive those trucks. I mean, I assume Chase Purdy will be in one because they got to pick up his contract.
Yeah, I was about to
if
say,
I had to guess.
I wish they'd put Raja in there.
That'd be cool.
It would be cool. I think it will. Well, from what I understand, they're going to run 3 full-time trucks. That doesn't mean 3 full-time drivers.
Kyle said he's going to still race.
Yeah. And if I had to guess, it'll probably be 2 full-time drivers and a part-time driver full-time truck deal. Or I mean that's what I think it'll be. I think Sanchez will stay in the 2.
I honestly didn't know Chase Purdy was full-time until this all came out. I'll be completely honest with you. I had no clue.
Because he doesn't show up half the time. He just
I wasn't going to say that.
He runs. I don't know, man. I don't know how good those trucks are right now because it's hard to gauge it because it's Chase Purdy and Jack Wood. Not that they might not have the talent, but they've never proven it. And then Kyle Busch is the only guy that jumps in a truck, and William Byron ran 3 races. And in none of those races was he really far and away the best truck in the field either. So I don't really know where those trucks are even at right now. I don't know that they're even that good. I think the GMS trucks might be actually better.
I don't know, man. You sink a lot of money in there. They might be pretty.
Yeah, they might be really good next year because that Spire's
better.
Pretty better.
Yeah. Let's talk about the schedule. Seems more interesting to Seth. I know Seth don't really give a damn about trucks.
No.
I love it. So Wilkesboro is going to be the all-star race for the 2nd year in a row. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Seth.
This was a slam dunk. Make this a 400 lap points race on Easter, not on Easter. I don't really care. That was a slam dunk idea. Yeah. I'm sorry. Great idea. Putting it as an all-star race again, especially when you have Atlanta as an option to do the all-star race. Terrible. Absolute mistake.
All right. Chase?
The repave has my feelings very torn because if they're repaving it, it means that they have intentions on it being around. So that's a good thing. The only bad thing is if they repave it and they fuck it up and then they're like, oh, well, this sucks. And then blame it on the track instead of the fact that the car isn't good. So
how many straight repaves has SMI fucked up?
Just repave, not reconfiguration.
Yeah.
I was about to say they screwed up quite a few reconfigurations.
When have they done just a repave and not a reconfiguration?
Charlotte.
Charlotte.
And it took them a long time for that to be good.
They used the wrong material, but they don't do that anymore. So
yeah, I mean, what they need to do, and I've said this over and over, get in touch with whoever the hell repaved Tri-County Speedway and Wake County Speedway, because I'm pretty sure it's the same people, and both of them are pretty damn good, especially Tri-County. Like that place is awesome. Because I just hope they keep the whole uphill downhill thing. I just hope they don't fuck up the track.
They would have to tear up like the entire foundation of the racetrack to get it level.
Yeah, no, they're not going to do that.
I mean, what's the chances they get a really dumb idea and go and try to make it progressive banking?
Dale Jr. has a lot of pull at that particular racetrack. I don't think he's going to do it. I don't think he's going to.
You're telling me they're not going to super speedwayify North Wilkesboro?
Holy shit. My head already hurts. Anyway, I kind of feel the same way as you, Seth. It sucks that we don't get a points race, but it does seem like obviously them repaving it. We're gonna get a points race.
Yeah,
like it's just there was rumors of Rockingham, there was rumors of Atlanta, and I think both of those would have been a better option than Wilkesboro. I think Wilkesboro serves as a better points race, but
I just think based off of what Wilkesboro is as a racetrack, fresh pavement, old pavement, it doesn't matter. I think only having half the field out there is a disservice to it as far as the actual product goes.
Yes, it's not.
And then you literally have a super speedway available to do the all-star race. It's like, I'm not a fan, but that's the perfect venue for an all-star race.
It is.
So it just doesn't make any sense to me. Now the repave, it was going to happen. Like the track was, I'm glad we got a race on the old pavement. That was awesome. But yeah, it had to happen.
The problem with them, with the Rockingham rumors, unless SMI bought it, they won't do it because they're not going to give up the all-star race.
I mean, they don't own Coda, and they lease that to go there.
Yeah.
I guess that's the route they'd have to go for that to work. The part that makes me the most sad is the fact that this is probably going to affect the Cars Tour race the most negatively. Because what makes the Cars Tour good there is the fact that the track's abrasive. And now that it's going to be a fresh racetrack, I don't know how good the Cars Tour race is going to be. It might be great and it might surprise me, but I know a lot of those guys were really upset about it, which, like you said, it was going to happen eventually. It just sucks because the series that's going to take the most of a hit from it is them, and nobody's going to talk about it.
Well, I think there is something to be said about the fact that Dale Jr. is, such a big part of North Wilkesboro Speedway. I think he'll have a hand in how they repave it, and I think he'll guide them in the right direction to make sure it's done in a way that is good for all series. So that's the thing. It's like, it's not like we're like, oh, we don't want North Wilkesboro to come back. We want North Wilkesboro to come back. We want it in a bigger capacity. I'm fine. I mean, like I said, I wish we would have gotten a points race, but I'm fine with the all-star race.
Yeah.
Like, it'll be fun. Ticket prices are a whole hell of a lot lower. So that's nice.
Yeah. They're still high.
They're high, but not as. I mean, 5-day package for $230. Not too bad.
Not bad at all.
Yeah. Indy is going back to the Oval officially. We've talked a little bit about this. Seth, what's up?
It was like I said, when we got the next gen car, I figured it was worth giving this a go. If it doesn't work, we need to either go back to the road course or leave Indy. And I don't think we're going to do that. I think what they did was create a scarcity of a product to make people want it again. I think that's all they did. I think this was probably the plan in some capacity. So I bet there'll be a significant uptick in people attending based compared to 2019. We're going, but we've went to the road course a couple times too. Yeah. So I feel like there'll probably be a significant uptick. And if the race sucks again, you probably won't see that many people there probably ever again.
Yeah.
That's just my guess.
Chuck.
Hey, I just like the fact that it's called the Brickyard 400, not the Florida Georgia Line presents the Big Machine Vodka 400 or whatever the fuck it was last time. So that's cool. I don't know. I don't even think stock cars really belong on that racetrack. It's more of a spectacle than anything. I don't really think the race should ever be expected to be amazing because it's never gonna be. They're not Indy cars. I think they keep going there just because it's Indianapolis, and
yeah.
No matter what, I think if it sucks, they at least stick it out. And if it sucks really bad, hell, do a back and forth where it alternates the road course and the oval so we can suck in a different way every other year.
All right. So I put out, I think it was a great TikTok. I don't know about what the world thinks, but at the Buddy Pulling
mid.
It was great. And I mean, Seth and I both went to the road course race the first 2 years we had it. They weren't fantastic races. They definitely were the two worst ones out of the three. And it also, to me, didn't feel like Indy, or as much like Indy. Yes, we're there. We're at Indianapolis, but it wasn't like, it just wasn't the same, And this year's race was very good. I thought it was great. We've talked about it. Vintage. It was very vintage race. Like, it was great. And stage cautions being gone really helped it. Now that stage cautions are gone, whatever. Do it. I don't care. Like I kind of feel the same way you guys feel. I don't think we need to be there. I could care less. I'm sorry. Let me get that phrase right.
Thank you.
Other people, I couldn't care less whether we are at Indianapolis or not. I want us to be there, but if it doesn't work, if the racing has sucked for 30 years, why? No one shows up. Like, what? We're just doing it for the sake of doing it. That's it.
Yeah.
I mean, people say we need to be at Indy.
No, we don't. No, we don't.
That's like saying IndyCar needs to be at Daytona.
Yeah.
That would never work. Well, this hasn't worked.
It'd be fun for about 5 laps.
Until somebody dies, and then it wouldn't be fun anymore.
The point was not to think about what IndyCar would be like at Daytona, because I think we're all, no, it was fucking stupid.
To the road course, have them go 240 into the turn 1.
They tested the road course.
Oh yeah, they did test the road course.
Yeah.
Hey, IndyCar used to race at Dover until people started getting hurt.
Yeah, they used to race at Charlotte until people started getting hurt. Fewer people, not necessarily drivers.
Anyway. They kept racing at Michigan the same day that they hurt some people.
Yeah, but we need to go back to Michigan, but we don't need to go back to Charlotte because of those reasons. Anyway, that beside the point. Yeah, I don't care either way. Sure. I mean, we're gonna go just because I want to see the Brickyard 400 on the oval. I know Seth does as well. But if we never go back to Indianapolis again, it's not gonna hurt my feelings.
I just think that, I don't know, your point about it not feeling like Indy, to me, being in Indy just in general has its own feeling, but it's never going to feel the way, the Indy 500 has its own feel. So for me, whenever we went to the road course, it felt like Indy to me. It just didn't feel like Indy, like if that makes any sense.
Yeah, and like you have a lot more personal attachment to Indianapolis than I do. I've grown up going to the Coca-Cola 600. You have been to a couple 600s, and then way more Indy 500s, and once in the same year. And so to me, Indy has always been that other race. And then I wish I would have gotten to see the oval in like pre 2008 and gotten to experience that, because I think maybe it would have been a better measuring stick. But yeah, it just didn't, it just wasn't the same.
Yeah.
And it seems like every other schedule rumor we've heard is going the opposite direction of what would be somewhat entertaining. Not to be pessimistic, but we'll see what happens when the actual schedule comes out. But I mean,
if they would ever release it.
Yeah.
Well, it's clearly not done, so
yeah,
that's the problem.
French Canadians need to get it figured out. Our buddies from Bristol, I think they're holding this up.
It must be their fault.
I think it is.
I will be genuinely upset if we don't end up going to Montreal.
Yeah.
Especially since we're losing 2 road courses already.
Yeah. I just want my doubleheader. Should we talk about this at Richmond?
Oh yeah.
Should we talk about this this Nick Sanchez, Matt Crafton fight?
Sure.
Wasn't much of a fight.
Sounds like it was a jumping.
Yeah. Okay. Whether you're on the opinion of Matt Crafton was in the wrong or not, can we stop being like, he was a 47-year-old man? Bro's 22. That's a man. Like, I'm sorry. Like
yeah,
you're old. Like, you're old enough to throw hands. Like, yes, you got ambushed, 100%. Like, that's allegedly what happened, and that's what I believe.
I have an eyewitness, so that's what happened.
Okay, so that's what happened. But I mean, they're old enough to throw hands. Stop being like, he's half his age. Oh,
Now, to be fair, is Nick Sanchez the one saying this?
No, it's a lot of people.
It's everybody on social media.
Yeah.
I mean, that's fair. But like, I don't know. You kept talking about it like he was the one saying it.
No.
Okay.
Nick Sanchez hadn't said anything. The only problem I had with Nick Sanchez is getting up and yelling, "You're going to kill him." That's a little.
Yeah, clearly he got fucked up and he wasn't expecting it. I'd be yelling some shit I wouldn't be proud of either.
Hold on. As a guy who has been punched in the face several times, and actually at the age of 22, come to think of it,
35 years ago today. Wow.
Yeah. I didn't thought that guy was going to kill him. I thought that was a little much. But
I'm not. Look,
everybody reacts to it. That's just it.
Yeah. It's not going to be the same for everybody, but if you do say something regrettable or something you're embarrassed by, you shouldn't be held accountable for what you said in that moment. I don't think.
Yes, I do. Yeah. You're right.
So I'll give you my immediate reaction. I'm sitting in the Sheetz parking lot waiting on Caleb to go get me a Monster.
Also
and
a prime opportunity to see a fight.
Yeah. And I pull up Twitter and it's a front stretch video. And I'm like, oh, okay. And it says fight after the truck race. And the first thing I see is some big round guy in a Nice Motorsports Worldwide Express shirt. And I was like, wait a minute. That's Big Mike Hillman. I was like, oh my God, who tried to punch Mike? And I'm watching. I was like, is that Mike? And then I hear Mike saying, let him go. I'm like, that's Mike. Who tried to fight Mike? So I immediately called my cousin Trey and I was like, yo, why is your dad in the middle of a fight in Talladega? And Trey gave me the rundown because he had already talked to Mike. I don't care what Matt Crafton said on Twitter. He walked up behind Nick Sanchez, tapped him on the shoulder, and punched him in the mouth. Like there was no whatever. He sucker punched him. There was no conversation had. Like Mike was standing right there. And as soon as that happened, Nick's dad is the one that tackled Matt Crafton, jumped on him.
Well, okay.
And then Mike runs in, and that's why Mike was on the ground, because he grabbed Nick's dad and drug him off of Crafton. So the guy laying on the ground that Mike is holding is Nick Sanchez's dad. Right. But yeah, there was no conversation had at all. He walked up behind him, tapped him on the shoulder, and punched him in the face, which I don't care about the age thing. The age thing isn't what matters. What matters is how that went about is really shitty.
Yeah, it's a bitch move.
Yeah. And I don't care if it's a 47-year-old and a 47-year-old. That's shitty.
Hey, if you're going to punch somebody in the face, it better be the Jeff Gordon way. You're fighting through 74 crew guys and you're getting one hit in before you get thrown to the ground in the middle of Texas pit road.
What about the other Jeff Gordon way? In the airport.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, just pop Mike Bliss.
Yeah.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh, yeah. Jeff Gordon and Mike Bliss got in a fight at the airport.
Really?
Well, allegedly, Jeff sucker punched him at the airport. Yeah.
But the funny thing was, because I called Trey and I was like, dude, what is happening? And he was like, he better be glad he just didn't try to punch Mike too. He'd look like Nick right now. Mike Hillman is a big boy, and that is not somebody you want to mess with. I'll tell you right now. He's punched a hole in a pit box before.
Holy shit.
Dover 2017, when they didn't put the tire on Briscoe's truck. They had that race won, and he was pissed, and he broke his hand punching a hole through the pit box.
So let's talk about the wreck. That was also like Matt Crafton's fault.
Yeah, that was. Like, that was definitely Matt Crafton's fault.
Like, what happened to this man?
He's old.
Yeah,
the same thing that happened to Johnny Sauter 3 years ago.
Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
It's time to hang him up.
Yeah, you get it. Yeah. I mean, dude.
I mean, what's he won? One race in the past 3 years or some shit?
I don't
know.
I could be wrong on that.
I have no clue.
I don't know that he's won since Eldora.
He's definitely won since Eldora.
No, because well, okay, when was that last championship he won? That was 21?
That was 19?
Was that 19?
Yeah, okay, he's won at least one since then. Yeah. One race.
I guess
let's find this out.
Yeah, you go find that out. You caused the wreck. And yeah, like you said, Johnny Sauter's a great comparison. You get to the point, you've been around this long, you have a sense of entitlement that I get it, dude. You're racing around a bunch of, punk kids, quote unquote. But I mean, you're racing in the truck series. What do you expect?
And then you have an hour plus to think about it and still make the worst possible decision you could have.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. I mean, Nick Sanchez's mom said he hid behind some tires and then popped out. Was like,
nice.
I mean, yeah, if you're going to get the job done, that's the way to do it. But probably not the smartest move for your career.
I mean, it is probably the best assault I've seen at a NASCAR race in a minute.
I mean, he
probably wasn't the best one at Talladega this weekend, but that's because it's Talladega. So I don't know.
I'll give Nick a shout out. Bro got done telling Crafty he was going to kill him. And then it's just blood running down his face and he just wipes it right on his white shirt. He's like,
okay, so you were right. Crafton won his last championship in 19 because he didn't win a race. And he has won one race since then in 2020.
All right.
So it has been over 3 years since he won a race.
I could be damned.
Wow. No.
I mean, he's made the playoffs every year.
Big fucking whoop. Yeah.
It's kind of hard to miss the playoffs when you've been around for 20-something years and you're in a Thor Sport truck. What I think too with Johnny Sauter's, like when it all went downhill for Johnny Sauter, he was really good at the beginning of, I don't remember what year that was, but whatever year he wrecked Austin Hill at Iowa. Like that meltdown is what started the downfall really quickly, actually. From there, when he got suspended for a race, it was like he came back and sucked.
Does Matt Crafton get suspended?
Hopefully.
He should. And considering what happened, he should.
Yeah.
I will say if Nick Sanchez,
I mean, they could probably press charges, to be honest.
If Nick Sanchez wrecks him, do they consider that premeditated?
He just has to say, "Oh shit, I didn't mean to do that. Sorry."
Yeah, I mean, you gotta go a little squirrely before you hit him. But all right. There's that. Getting into the Cup race. I think I was the only one who saw the Ricky Stenhouse, Kyle Busch, Ross Chastain wreck, right? Yeah,
I woke up at 3:00. So
I saw the Instagram snap of it.
So basically what happened allegedly was there was an issue with Ricky's fuel pickup, and he hit the reserve switch when he crossed the line to take the last lap of the stage, and he ran out on the backstretch. And still though, why is Kyle Busch right? Kyle Busch kind of just was running all over him like before that even happened. And made I don't know. It's
so wait. This is after the stage?
No, this
you just said you confused me.
I didn't. He at the last lap of the stage, he hit the reserve switch.
Mm-hmm.
And then on the backstretch, he runs out.
Okay.
Yeah. And then I don't know. Kyle was already running up on his bumper, and then obviously the thing happened. He runs out. I saw a lot of people giving Ricky shit. I mean, well, Dick he couldn't help it, man. He was out of gas.
What's a man supposed to do about that?
Yeah. Took out Ross Chastain. Ross Chastain maybe had second week in a row. Ross Chastain's had a great quote. They asked him something about the Roval next week. He goes, "Lesson rights." That was it. I was like,
what was his great quote last week?
It was when he talking about the throttle not working. He was like, "Ain't got no gas, Kim."
Did somebody ask him? Did somebody ask Ross this week if today's Talladega was different than the spring Talladega? Like, what was different about it?
Someone did ask him that, and he said, "I don't know.
Nothing.
I just race. Like, I drive car in circle." Like,
that is a really dumb question.
Yeah.
Nothing.
So I don't know. Ross does have some pretty funny answers, though. I don't think in general.
Oh yeah, I'll give Ross some credit.
Like when he started when he was giving Dave Burns a stank eye at Indy last year. After that terrible interview.
That was one of the worst interviews I've ever seen in my life. So that obviously took Ross out of the race, put him below the cut line, but not as far below the cut line as it looked like he was going to be, which is typically how Talladega goes. Then Brad Keselowski wrecks Carson Hocevar, and let's talk about Austin Dillon. Go ahead, Chase.
So Austin Dillon got right hooked into the wall and gets out of the car, and he hit the wall pretty hard. And that was pretty clear in his interview because he said something along the lines of the 42 was all over the place anyway. And I don't know why Brad was even pushing him. And then went on MRN and basically said Carson Hocevar has no talent.
Tell you what.
Well, I don't want to be that guy, but Carson Hocevar has just about outrun Austin Dillon in every single Cup race he's ever ran. And Austin Dillon's teammate has 3 wins this year in his first year with the team, which is almost as many as Austin Dillon has in his entire career.
Do you think if you added up Carson Hocevar's points, if he got Cup points, do you think he'd be like at least close to Austin Dillon?
I don't
fine close.
I don't know about that, but if we added them up in his Cup starts versus Austin Dillon's in the same race this year, I think he'd have more points.
Oh,
I don't want, I'm trying to be as
that's not a high bar.
I'm trying to be as nice as possible about this, but he has no room to talk.
Yeah. Brad also.
It wasn't even Carson's fault. Brad wrecked him, and then Brad said something like that too. Brad tried to put it on Carson.
Yeah. Well, it's easy target, and that was wrong because I don't think Carson did anything wrong. I think Carson took the high road for sure and was like, "Hey, what can I learn from this?" Whatever. And I mean, he got wrecked. Brad turned him.
Brad said, I don't think his car was handling very good. Well, maybe because you had his rear tires jacked off the ground at 190 miles an hour in the tri-oval. That might be why his
jacked up. Jacked off. Oh, my God.
We don't need to go down that road.
I'll be honest. So I only heard the radio interview from Brad, and that's pretty much what he said. But it didn't sound like
the TV interview was worse. I thought.
Yeah, I bet. Yeah,
it was like an arrogant.
It wasn't even bad. Yeah, exactly. It was
like an arrogant, well, he's a kid, so I don't know what I expected kind of thing. Like, he didn't call him out like Austin Dillon did, but he was just kind of like blaming it on him without blatantly blaming it on him.
Very passively.
Yeah.
It must have, I don't know. He must have calmed down or come down on that from that a little bit by the time they did the,
I think it only happened because he was pissed off because he had been controlling the race better than anybody else had all day, really. And then a bunch of stuff happened and the middle line got jumbled up and he went straight to the back and then couldn't go anywhere. And at that time they couldn't get the third line going and he was just trying to make something happen. And
to be fair,
he did just the wrong way.
Real quick, a point I'd like to make is I don't really understand why anybody, the two of you included, get up in arms about anything any driver says a moment after the race, especially a plate race. I really don't understand it. We all know how race car drivers are, and we all know how they are in the heat of the moment. But we always sit here and dissect exactly what they said and why it was stupid. I don't really understand why we do that.
No. Okay, hold on. Good point. But I also revert back to Pocono where you did the exact same thing with this very driver in Austin Dillon. So, checkmate.
Well, okay, hang on real quick. Okay, so Austin Dillon is kind of different because he's been doing the same thing forever and he's always wrong and he has Pop back there telling him the wrong thing.
Here's
a little different.
Like when he said Austin Cindric purposely wrecked him at Gateway.
Yeah, exactly.
It's not that big of a deal, but we didn't have much else to talk about in this race other than the big thing. So we had to add some fluff in here. All right. So
this is fair, but it's more of a general complaint. I don't really understand.
It is.
Yeah.
I get the point you're making, Seth. The problem I have with it is there was no need for Austin Dillon to say anything. It wasn't even a wreck that involved him until the wreck collided into him. How else
is Austin Dillon going to stay relevant?
Like it wasn't like he got wrecked or wrecked somebody. It was the wreck happened and came down and collected him out of nowhere. It was completely out of left field. Didn't even involve him at all. And he was just like, "Oh yeah, this guy sucks." Like, dude, how would you know what happened? You were.
Could have seen a replay. Austin Dillon doesn't see wrecks the way they actually happen. So he could have seen a replay, just saw Carson Hocevar dead turning left on his own. But I don't know. They put a mic in front of him. That's why he said something.
Thank God. Honestly, thank God Brad was there.
If you thank God Brad was there. In front of my face, i.e. this one, I'm probably going to say some shit.
It's probably not all going to be very smart.
No, just listen to like the first however many minutes of this podcast
or episodes.
Yeah. We've had over 100 episodes. You can count on one hand how many smart things I've said. So,
you said it, not
this me. Many.
No, I said one hand, Chuck.
That was kind of the point.
You don't need any hands to count.
That was kind of the point.
We figured Concussion Chuck was making a comeback.
Anyway, so okay. We even need to talk about this.
What?
So Kevin Harvick
finished last.
But really he finished second for a couple hours.
Yeah.
Like an hour.
It was really a if you ain't first, you're last kind of thing.
Yes, there was several people that not after the initial loss, but after the disqualification came out that texted me and tweeted me and said, "Hey, buddy," they tweeted and said, "Hey, someone needs to check on Buddy Pulley." I mean, at that point, like it's second 38 doesn't matter to me. Doesn't matter a lick to me.
That's what I told Abby.
Yeah, I mean, dude, I didn't the last 10 laps, 13 laps of that race. I remember looking up when he took the lead or was leading, and I was like, 13 to go. Okay, never mind. No chance. This is happening. 10 to go. No chance this is happening. 7 to go. Probably not going to happen. 3 to go. Okay. All right. He's making some good moves. He's actually trying at Talladega. Good man. Can't wait for him to get shuffled out. 2 to go. Okay. Making me nervous. White flag. He takes the white. I'm sitting there. I'm like, it ain't gonna happen. There's just no way in hell. Going down the backstretch. Okay. Midway down the backstretch, he's way out in front. I'm like, Blaney's got him. No chance in hell he wins this. When he goes to the bottom, Herbst has a run. I lose my effing mind. I lost it. That's when I jumped up, smacked my phone somewhere into the oblivion by mistake and broke it. Seth, you get on me so much for getting excited about super speedway racing, and it's a very valid reason to get on someone because super speedway racing ultimately is stupid. Like it is, and it never like it's always some dumb stuff that happens at the end, and you can't get excited about it until the very end. And I took your advice for once.
Wow.
And I still ended up with the same result. So
well, losing by a foot sucks no matter what race it is or type of racing.
Oh, now you're willing to admit that?
I hadn't seen it yet.
Yeah, dickhead.
No, hang on. No. I thought when you said I broke my phone, I just imagined you picking it up and slamming it. And I'm like, really, buddy? That's
like he did at Bristol?
I did.
You did that at Bristol?
He did that over Dale Jr.
Pick it up and throw it. It was in my koozie, and I was holding my koozie when Junior caught on fire, and I slammed it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. But either way, how close can you come? I mean,
closer than that.
Not just here. I'm just saying, not just here. Like Phoenix, Darlington. Here, is he really going to end his career without getting another win? Which, to be fair, doesn't in the grand scheme of things doesn't matter. Doesn't affect his legacy. But obviously, I want it to happen.
Yeah.
But it just, I would have much rather him gone out, not having a chance pretty much anywhere, just kind of running sixth. But this is just salt in the wound at this point. So, like I said at the beginning of the show, I can't wait to not give a fuck who wins these races.
I got a question for you, actually.
Okay.
Would you have rather him won and then get DQ'd to experience him winning the race?
All right, here's the thing. NASCAR is an entertainment sport. NASCAR is also a business. What is good for business? Storylines. What's good for entertainment? Storylines. There is no way, in my humble opinion, there's no way on Corey Taylor's green earth that they were going to DQ Kevin Harvick from the win. Zero chance. Zero.
I agree with you.
It would have been too good for business. It would have been too good for storyline. Absolutely. There's no way they would have done it.
I wanted to hear you say it. That's why I asked you that.
There's zero chance. Zero chance. And fucking shout out to Riley Herbst. Riley Herbst, I'm not going to say he deserves a cup ride because he's got a lot to prove on the Xfinity side. But he he drove a damn smart race today, and he was committed all the way until the very end. So shout out to Riley Herbst. Drove a great race.
Man loves herpes.
Wow. Okay.
He's a good plate racer, at least in these Cup cars. He has been. The only thing that got me and made me a little bit frustrated is that Kevin said in his interview, he was like, well, Timmy was telling me to side draft. And I thought, well, I'm not going to need to side draft because Riley's about to push me. He should not have thought that. I wouldn't, in his position, I don't think you ever bank on the guy behind you being there. Side draft the hell out of Ryan Blaney.
Should have just doored his ass.
And if he would have done that, he had plenty of room between him and Blaney. Honestly, I was sitting there thinking, is he not going to side draft at all? If he had gone down like half an inch, he probably would have won the race. Well, cross the line first, because he didn't at all. And he had believe it or not, even though William was on the 12's bumper, he was honestly gaining ground. I'm not sure how, but he was.
That's because he looked in the mirror, saw the 36 get turned, and that's when he went down in side draft, and 50 more yards, he wins the race. But I mean, yeah, no, you're right. I mean, you can't. It's the same. It's in the same vein of you can't wait until the very end to make these moves at plate races because there's going to be a wreck. You always know there's going to be a wreck, and guys that wait till the last lap or wait till the last corner, they get hosed a lot of times because there's a caution. And it's kind of in the same vein here. You can't count on anything happening behind you. So side draft all the hell out of them.
Corey LaJoie tried to win the race from 7th. So
I'll talk about that here in a second. Go ahead.
I do love the consistent inconsistency of a wreck happening in the tri-oval, and we didn't throw a caution for it.
Yeah, we did.
We did.
Allegedly.
Why?
I think. Did we not?
Mm-mm. There was no yellow.
Okay, I thought.
I mean, they posted a margin of victory. That wouldn't have happened if it was under yellow.
Okay, maybe that's okay.
No, they just let them all wreck because they were still wrecking. That's how they didn't wreck until they were almost to the exit of pit road, pretty much.
Yeah.
Again, so a lot of people just say they don't care how it's called. They just want it to be consistent. I'm the exact opposite. It never needs to be called in the tri-oval. It's ridiculous.
No.
I'm glad we didn't do it today, apparently.
Yes.
But like Brendan Poole needs an Xfinity win added, and Elliott Sadler needs one taken away. There's
one taken away.
Sure. We can give him that Cup one. I don't remember that one.
The 2013 when he like made the bonsai 3-wide move, and Kane beat him to the line, but they went back to when the caution came out. They ran the travel.
Yeah. So it's dumb. It's really dumb. We should never do it.
I've always said there needs to be a line where if you cross it, a line of no return. If you cross it, we're gonna race.
I say we have that line already. It should be called the start finish line on the last lap.
I don't think you race back because you have a wreck right at the white. Then that I get why that's dangerous. But
okay, only if there's a car stopped, cannot get out of the way. Otherwise, there's like 8,000 miles of asphalt toward the wall. Go down there.
Yeah, there's a lot to be said about it. But either way, it didn't happen today. So
no.
The actual wreck, though, was just what is Corey LaJoie do? What does Blood even do? Like he does, and here's the thing: if this was Corey LaJoie's first time being up there, if he hasn't been in the Cup Series for 5 years, okay, fine. But he does this every time he's near the front. He does something dumb. Like, other than Atlanta last year when Chase Elliott 100% wrecked him, he does dumb shit. Like, I don't get what you're doing. Yes, Riley should not have opened up the bottom or opened up the middle, but he wrecked him. He flat out wrecked him.
Yeah,
I don't get it. I don't understand. Like for a guy who claims he worships the sport, has such a high IQ about the sport, did he not have a high enough IQ to recognize that the guy who's been preaching about wanting to win a race in his final season was about to win, and you pretty much single-handedly took that away? Like, come on, dude.
I got no words.
Yeah.
Dude's a
I said what I had to say. He tried to win the race from 7th, 6th, whatever he was. He was third car on the outside.
And I'm also sick of the excuses we get for every time someone tries to do that shit. They're like, man, I was trying to get a spot. I'm like, yeah, thank God you trying to get a spot for 7th or 21st, cost everyone hundreds of thousands of dollars.
Yeah, he would have gotten a couple spots if he had just pushed to 36.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I mean, yeah. And that you make a good point about the money loss. I mean, he ought to know that about it. Anybody driving an underfunded team. So
Spire's not underfunded anymore, but
not no more.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the past, driving for underfunded teams. Yeah, I mean, I just can't wait for Carson Hocevar to outrun his ass every week next year.
And Zane Smith.
That's correct. Yeah, it's just like I said, it's just unnecessary. We ran a solid Talladega race, and it was just flat out just blow hard, like you said, Seth. Just a blow hard move. There.
They only junked 5 cars until 100 feet before the line.
Yep.
And then how many do we add?
Probably 20. 20 with damage.
Yeah.
He pretty much wrecked from 6th to 20th because he spun Riley into Chase. I think it was into Chase or William, and then that turned Kyle Larson, and then everybody behind them. It turned Kyle off of a bump to Kyle's back bumper. I'm not sure how that happened, but then everybody else behind them just piled in.
It took them forever on MRN to say who was involved in the wreck. All they said was Herbst got spun, and I'm like, okay, A, who hit him? Like, we know someone wrecked him. And B, who else is involved? And they just sat there and said, wow, what a great win for Ryan Blaney for like 40 seconds. And I'm like, guys, there's a wreck. Can I know who's in it?
It was like the way they wrecked, it was just like a wrecking, I don't know, like a fireball of just wreck. There was no fire, but just imagine just like a cloud of just wrecked race cars all moving in one motion towards the finish line.
Hang on. I got the playoff standings, and it's the NBC thing, and they got a picture right. Where else did Ryan Blaney win this year?
Charlotte.
We were there.
Oh, shit.
You know what? I'm not going to give him shit because I thought the same thing for like an hour and a half. And then I was like, oh yeah.
Really? Okay. First thing I thought was, he got a second one. Good for him.
I thought it was his first win at first. Yeah, and then I was like, where the hell did he win?
For a second there, I was like, oh yeah, Joey has been the only Penske guy to win this year. Okay, so anyway, getting into the playoffs, William Byron and Ryan Blaney have now advanced. Thank God Ryan Blaney advanced. Jesus.
Hey, I just realized I had him advancing and I didn't know why. Yes.
You were definitely the only one. So
they need to put Talladega in the round of 16. So
they need to put Talladega in a cornfield in Iowa.
They're going to leave Talladega where it is, and they're going to add Atlanta to the round of 8. Isn't everybody excited?
Don't put that evil on me, Ricky Bobby. I mean, it's
kill
true,
me. Just right now. Just end it. That's going to be terrible.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants to watch that more than once in the playoffs.
Going to make Darlington a must win for Kyle Larson every year now.
Yeah. Give him some credit, Day. Here's the thing.
He ran good.
Give Kyle Larson some credit because he came in +2?
+2.
He left +15.
What's crazy is he was +25 until 100 feet before the line, and he lost 10 spots in 100 feet because he spun straight towards the wall.
There was a point in this race within the last 20, 30 laps where I think it was Chris Buescher was 20, 30 points up above the cut line. And everyone else was like, it was a matter of like 17 points between 3rd and 11th.
It really still is because
I got it right here. So William Byron is in, obviously. Ryan Blaney is in. Denny Hamlin is up 50. So unless something absolutely astronomical happens, he's in. Christopher Bell's plus 22. Chris Buescher's plus 19. Martin Truex Jr. is plus 17. Kyle Larson is plus 15. Brad holds the final spot at plus 2. Reddick is minus 2. Ross is only minus 9. And Bubba is only minus 9. And
he's minus 10.
Minus 26.
Ross is minus 10 now. That's been updated. He actually lost a point because of Kevin being DQ'd. How it worked out. Somebody else got
gained a point.
Yeah, because they both got 1 point, and so everybody else gained a point. So Ross is minus 10.
Okay. Thank you. So yeah, going into the Roval. Oh, hold on. Before we get into the Roval, I did want to read Rodney Childers' quote after the DQ. Today we got DQ'd for the car buffering in the draft and some windshield bolts and some. Okay, sorry. Today we got DQ'd for the car buffering in the draft and some windshield bolts vibrating out. My guys had silicone on the threads and sorry, I need my glasses and gobbed tip. Oh, that's a thing right there.
What?
What?
And gobbed on the tip, I guess silicone.
Okay.
And still came out, and they still came.
Yeah, I bet they did.
So yeah, I don't know. I mean, it doesn't really matter. Win second doesn't matter much, but obviously the integrity there.
That seems kind of like a ticky-tack foul to me.
I see. It seems like a safety foul to me, and I'm okay with it, but I still don't think they would have called it if he won.
No, they wouldn't have. Sorry for butchering that quote for anyone.
Can't believe that was the quote.
Yeah, that was. I apologize for that. Anyway, going to the Roval.
The show is now rated R.
Yeah, going to the Roval. Do we think the 4 that are out right now are going to be the 4 that miss?
Who's out again? Kyle Busch is way out, right?
Yeah. Reddick, Bubba, Chastain, and Kyle Busch are out right now.
Correct.
No, we do not.
No, because Brad Keselowski is absolutely missing.
Yeah, I agree. He sucks at road courses, specifically there. And Reddick being minus 2, they might as well be plus 20.
Yeah, I think I concur. I think honestly, Ross hasn't really done much for me on road courses. Bubba hasn't either, but they've built faster cars for him. And I think they have executed better the past couple weeks than today might be an exception than they have in the past. And maybe they can steal some stage points that someone else might not be able to get. That's the only way I think they make it. But yeah, obviously dumb shit can happen to anyone. If nothing happens to anyone, I think Brad's probably going to be out for sure.
Here's what's tough for Bubba and Ross is because you read that list, and of the guys that are not locked in, and we're just going to call Denny Hamlin locked in, who is bad at road courses?
Brad Keselowski.
Other than Brad, guys that are in right now, Brad, we're assuming that we're just going to assume that Reddick's going to outrun Brad. So there's one spot. So that means Bubba and Ross are counting on Buescher, Bell, Larson, Truex to have a bad day at the Roval, and I don't see that happening on speed. Now, crazy things can happen there, but on speed, those 4 cars are going to be good.
Yeah.
So that's what's tough for them. It's not like they're not going into it with we got a shot because we can make up that many points. Like at Bristol, Truex had a 7-point gap to Logano. Well, they haven't been, he can make that up on Logano at Bristol. That's not the case this week. They're going to need some shenanigans to happen because those 4 cars are good on road courses.
Well, it also brings up the question of, especially now with, the worst thing ever coming back. A lot of those guys around the cut line are going to take stage points because that's their only surefire way to score points.
Yeah.
This race.
You either race for points or you race for the win.
I think it's a high likelihood, not for the bubble spot, but like Denny Hamlin, if he can get another road course pole, which I don't think would be crazy, I think it's entirely likely he wins the first stage and just fucks off for the rest of the race because that would lock him in. So there's that. I definitely think the 45 and the 23 will probably qualify pretty good. They'll probably get pretty good stage points.
Winning the first stage would actually guarantee Denny in. He could wreck and finish dead last. And if he went after winning the first stage, Bob tweeted what everybody needs. They could get DQ'd. Let me find it. I'll tell you how many points everybody needs to control their own destiny.
I don't think they would do that much to look at Denny Hamlin's DQ'd last place car or DNF'd last place car.
Hamlin can clinch with 8 points. That's 29th with no stage points. They're all but in.
It's gonna be tough.
Bell, no matter what anybody else does, Bell can clinch with 36 points. Busher with 39, Truex 41, and Larson 43. Nobody else controls their own destiny other than winning.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
that's a lot of points.
That is a lot of points. I mean, all those guys, they're all going to be good, but they can't afford to have a bad day or have something go wrong. And that happened last year where Larson went in a pretty good spot and it was about
like this, wasn't it?
Yeah. They were about like 15 up and they were running like 15th and they were still plus almost 30, I think. And then he stepped on his dick.
Quit jacking off Kyle Larson.
We're just talking about how he fucked it up last year.
We're just talking about how any of those guys, if something goes wrong, they're in trouble.
I think you did bring up a good point because Suarez same way. Suarez came in like plus 10, 11. I think at one point he was up like plus 22. And it took him going several laps down with a power steering issue for him to miss. So
I remember that.
Yeah.
What did Ross have go wrong in that race? I remember Ross. Did they have a power steering issue too?
I don't know what Ross. I think they
both had the same issue.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly.
Obviously Ross made it, but
yeah.
But yeah, it's Bro was awesome. I can't wait.
Well,
cautions are coming back. That sucks.
We don't have bowling ball Briscoe still in this year, so he's not going to send it off into the backstretch chicane and use everyone else as his brakes to pick up a couple spots and make it. So that takes that out of the equation. There goes that excitement.
Talk about another race Harvick should have won.
No, it's not that one. It's 2019, but yeah.
Yeah. Either way, I'll take either one.
That's fair.
Yeah. Get ready to roval.
For the last time, probably.
I hope. Yeah. I love this racetrack.
I will be doing media stuff for both of those races, Saturday and Sunday. So that'll be fun.
Get us some scoops, man. Get us some scoops.
I'll do my best. I'll try not to make myself look like an idiot.
Yeah. It's good. That's good stuff. Yeah. I hope this isn't the last roval. I'm not really saying much about it until the schedule comes out. But
I've already convinced myself in my head that it is the last one. So that way, if it's not, I will be happy. But if it is, I'll go. Okay.
We need to make some special roval drinks.
Make Texas a roval instead of tearing it down and making it Atlanta. Make it a roval.
No, I'm not going out to Texas. I want my damn Charlotte roval.
I want my roval that's an hour and a half away.
Hey, I'm just saying, I just had that thought. Instead of making it another Atlanta, which they definitely should not do, they should consider what Texas would be as a roval.
You know what we should consider? Leaking information in North Korea about Texas Motor Speedway being...
Okay, all right. On that note, so dressing dumbass. Yeah.
Oh, I got to think about this. I didn't think about it.
My sundress is absolutely nobody. Talladega should be burned to the ground. And so should the Panthers.
Okay.
Wow.
I had to say something.
Oh, okay. Seth, Seth had fun at Talladega both times he went. So.
I did. Okay, so I'm kidding. I looked through like the finishing order and I was like, I don't know. I got nothing.
Jason,
Nick Sanchez, I don't know.
Oh, my sundress. Shout out to Brett Moffitt outrunning his hairline by 5 laps and winning at Talladega. That was cool. I mean, I feel like running an Xfinity car, a subpar Xfinity car every week has made his hairline recede more. He hinted at in his interview, he said, I'd like to get back to doing more of this. It feels like the good old days. So we'll see what happens. So I have a feeling he might be in that 38 truck next year. So he's my sundress.
All right. My sundress, Riley Herbst is a great honorable mention. Corey Roper is a fucking real one. Seth, do you know what Corey Roper's his part he played in the Nick Sanchez Matt Crafton fight?
He pulled Nick Sanchez away or some shit.
He's the one who picked Nick Sanchez off the ground. Just being a good fucking Samaritan. That's all he was doing. He had no skin in the game. He's just like, I don't want to see this happen. I'm just going to pick this kid up off the ground. Come on, buddy. Let's go.
Yeah,
your buddy.
Your buddy. All right, I rescind. I do have a sundress. It'd be Mike Hillman Jr.
Yeah, there we go.
No, Corey Roper, man, that's a real one. That is a real one. Look out on my TikTok at the Buddy Pulley. Come on, help me out, please. We'll put out something about on Corey Roper.
All right, dumbass.
Okay, go ahead, Seth.
The NASCAR 2024 schedule. It hasn't come out yet. That's part of it. And also, fuck this schedule. Like, just top to bottom at this point. Fuck this schedule. I am so sick to death of it. Stop fucking with my awesome, variety-filled NASCAR and bringing back the mid-aughts, okay? That time period kind of sucked from, like, every year from, like, June to August was just brutal.
Dude, someone said, thank God they're bringing back these two fan favorites talking about Bristol Dirt and Indy Oval, and they took a picture of just the empty grandstand.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Chase, who's your dumbass?
So my dumbass is actually completely unrelated to racing. I just thought you guys would enjoy this. Saturday morning, I was on the way to a livestock sale with my brother and sister, and we pull into the gas station to get something to drink. And I told my dad I was going to get him a drink. I told them, oh, don't worry about grabbing anything out of the house. I'll stop and get you something. We pull into the gas station. Ask my brother what he wants. He wants a blue Fanta. I asked my sister, what do you want to drink? What do they have? I said, it's the fucking gas station. What do you mean? What do you mean? What do they have? They have everything. She was like, well, I didn't know. I was like, what do you mean? Have you never been in a fucking gas station before? They have everything.
Isn't she like 9?
Yeah. And she's also gone into a gas station before and picked out her own drink. She knows they have everything. And she straight up looked me dead in the eyes and says, well, what do they have? What do you mean? What do they have? You're a dumbass. You're a dumbass if you don't know what drinks the gas station sells.
That is a head ass moment, I will say. That's funny. My dumbass of the week. Hold on, let me get his username right.
Oh boy.
Bill Jones 5 fan on Twitter.
Oh God.
Or on X, I'm sorry. He said, and I quote, I'll try not to butcher this one. I don't understand the hype of Harvick. He always got the best equipment. He did not win a championship for Richard like Dale did, and so he is very overrated and bad. Fuck this guy in particular.
Buddy, you have somehow turned your microphone all the way around.
Oh, okay. Fuck this guy in particular.
There you go.
Did you guys hear the quote?
We did.
Oh, yeah, we heard it.
Roomy and spacey.
Okay. But anyway, yeah. Several reasons why this is wrong. One, he has not always been in the best equipment. We established this a couple weeks ago. He's been in the best equipment maybe 3 years in his career. And he's won 60 races. Mind you, that's top 10 on the all-time win list. He's also won a championship. And if he won championships like Dale did, he'd have 4 of them. By the way, that would be tied with Jeff Gordon for, I don't know, second on the all-time championship.
If they were done like Dale did it, then it wouldn't be tied with Jeff Gordon.
That's true.
Yeah, Jeff Gordon would have like.
That's true. Kevin Harvick would solely be second on the all-time championship list.
Ahead of Jimmy Johnson?
Ahead of Jimmy Johnson. Richard Childress Racing hasn't been top-tier equipment since 1986, mind you. So you can kiss my ass.
How many championships did Dale win after that?
Okay, we'll say 1987. We'll say, okay, we'll give
him... He still won at least 2, did he not?
We'll give him 90 and 91.
90, 91, 93, 94.
Yeah. I'll give them the last. They started to fall off as soon as like technology really started to pick up the pace.
As soon as that old Rainbow boy rolled into town.
Goddamn. Yeah.
He wears rainbow colors. He's a handsome fella.
Yeah. Either way, just I saw that and I was just blown away at how terrible that take is.
I got another dumbass. Y'all aren't gonna like this one. It's just for fun. I went to Cherokee Speedway last night and watched the Southern All-Stars late model.
Commander Speedway to you.
I went and watched the Southern All-Stars late model race, and bonus dumbasses of the week are Seth and Buddy for thinking sprint cars are better than dirt late models.
They are.
And I'll just leave it at that because they're not.
Buddy, Cherokee isn't a slur, so we don't have to change that.
That was
all right. I got another dumbass. Hang on.
Seth saying sprint cars are better than late models and saying that is real funny considering he's wearing a dirt late model shirt right.
Amen. Thank you.
It's not my fault. Kyle Larson drives everything.
I'm wearing a dirt modified shirt right now underneath my hoodie.
All right, hang on. I got one. This guy.
What guy?
Broke his fucking phone after the race today.
No, it was before the race.
Oh, yeah. The race wasn't even over yet, and he broke that phone.
Correct.
I could have another one for me sleeping until 3 p.m.
Dude, I wish I'd have done that instead of going to the Panther game.
Idiots.
There's a bunch of dumbasses this week, dude. I went to bed at like 5. I woke up and I was like, man, I hope it's not 1 o'clock.
Gives a fuck? Who are we picking for the Roval?
Chase Elliott.
Elliott. Okay.
Damn you.
I'm picking Kyle Larson.
Damn you.
You're an idiot. There's another dumbass right there. I haven't thought this one
that might not
through enough.
No, you said it already.
Yeah, you said it already.
I got faith in him.
We're gonna be there, so there's that.
I'll bring my koozie.
No.
Okay. Notice Kyle did okay at Talladega because I didn't actually bring out the koozie. Here's the own running joke in this little group chat we got that if I pull out my Kyle Larson koozie, it's game over for the 5 car.
It happened about 10 minutes after he pulled out the koozie at Texas last week.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Oh gosh, I don't know who to pick. I got one I'm leaning towards, but I don't really want to pick it.
Well, you're not running for points, so it doesn't matter.
Busher. No, AJ Allmendinger. That's what it was. I couldn't remember. I couldn't remember it.
He said Busher.
No, we'll give him Allmendinger. Calm down, Seth. Jesus.
What the fuck?
I could not remember. I thought about it earlier. I was like, what is that guy's name? Oh, yeah, it's AJ.
Well, I mean, okay.
Angelina Jolie Allmendinger.
That one guy.
All right, Buddy's quit on us. This has been the Big Motor Small Blade podcast. He's been Buddy. I've been Seth. He's been Chuck.
Hey, hold on.
He's still Buddy.
I was going to give a shout out to Tyler McGuffin, my buddy Tyler, for giving me this Talladega 500 hat.
All right.
Other than that, I'm done.
We'll see y'all when we see y'all.
See ya.
Bye.